Hey guys, welcome to another episode with
So-Called Friends.
On this episode, we're going to talk about how do you handle things in your household. Does one person handle everything, or do you guys come together on this finances and all that jazz? So let's get to it.
I call my friends,
Hey,
and they call their friends.
Yup.
And now you're on the line getting tea from So-Called Friends.
That is so catchy. I sing that every day. All right, y'all, we're going to get into it. So, I want to know, how do you ladies feel about one person handling, we're going to just speak on finances right now. Okay. How do you guys feel about one person handling finances in your household? Like, do you want to know what is happening, or do you want your person to take care of everything and then you just go on with life?
So I think there's a freedom in, one person kind of taking care of everything. But I think that there is a bunch of things that can go wrong with it also. Mm-hmm. Like my husband, he does, we just have fallen into roles. So I might pay the mortgage and he might pay the light bill, but it's never been said, you do this, you do this, you do that. He definitely is the account police is what I call him, because it's just his thing. He likes to look at the account, whereas for me, I don't pay very much attention to the account. I'm the type of person that I know I spend a lot of money and I don't even want to see it. I think we kind of share responsibilities a little bit, but I do rely on him because I'm more of the lazier one in the bunch, which means he's going to get up and do things that I don't want to do. So you can get caught up, I think, being lazy and allowing that person to kind of take care of things and take care of you.
Right.
And then you can look up one day and say, oh shit, I don't even know, if Lord forbid he passed, how to pay the damn mortgage.
I mean, that's true, but I think like maybe, and I could be over speaking, in your relationship, your husband communicates, so he's gonna tell you, hey, you doing too much, or what you was doing here. He's gonna ask you questions. He's gonna talk about it. Versus some people don't even have access to an account.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Right? We have people that don't know where the bills are, where they come from, or any of that. They're just moving through life like whatever. As money gets deposited, things, the lights ain't never turned off, so I ain't never asking any questions about it.
Right. In my opinion, I feel like in relationship, people do fall into a role.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever their role is, that's your role. But I feel like if you're not the person that's taking care of the finances, you should at least know what's going on with the finances. You should at least be checking them every now and then. You should know what's coming in, what's going out. You should have access to that stuff. You should know if somebody got a rental property over here. You should know if your husband is paying some other big rent, because you can see it coming out of the account, something ain't looking right. Like, you should be able to know. Or if your wife got a gambling problem, like, you should know what's going on with your finances, because you end up in court and you dead broke, or you realize your spouse has all this other income coming in that you had no idea about. So whatever your role is in the marriage, like, you should still be accountable and still aware of what's happening.
You need to be able to wear dual hats.
Right.
I am one that I'm a control freak in that way, and I need to know what's happening with the money. I need to touch the money. I need the money to come to me, and I need to be the one to pay bills. Like, I always be like, oh, I wish someone would do this for me. But in all honesty, I just want you to give it to me and let me take care of it. We can discuss it together, but I need to see that it's done. Like, I need to know that that's been submitted and that's been taken care of. Because it's so many times that people say, oh yeah, I took care of something, and then something happened, or their car get picked up, and you be like, well, wait a minute, I thought you was good. Well, I got behind and I never could catch up, but I didn't know nothing about that because you've been hiding things.
But moving on from bills, just natural things like who pays what and role, placement. Also, for me, you have a toxic side of it. Everything is in my name. Everything, the house, the cars, the kids. I'm the only person that can pick them up from school. I mean, there's a controlling role to that also, and I think a lot of people deal with that also, and they don't know that they even in a situation until the shit hit the fan.
Until the situation.
I mean, that's true, but that goes to you being too comfortable and just checked out of the situation. Mm-hmm. You should know. Like, for instance, I don't live with my mom, and if something happened right now, I know she has a safe somewhere with her paperwork, but I don't know where none of her stuff is, right? Yeah. I feel like it's an importance for you to know, because anything can happen at any moment, and you need to be able to access that information, and nobody has that information. Y'all know I just was in the hospital unexpectedly for a week. Anything could happen Nobody has none of my information. Jada don't know what insurance policy to pick and choose, or you just don't know anything. You need to be able to have that conversation to know where is everything, first of all.
Yeah. And in a relationship, you have situations where sis don't walk away with nothing because she didn't even realize that she should have known better. She should have known what was happening in her life, in her house, because he has put everything in his name. He has made everything accessible to him and nothing accessible to her. And as much as Texas is a community property state, you still there is some gray lines to that.
Right. And I feel like you should never trust a person or a situation enough to where you're not protecting your own interests.
Not blind trust.
No, like that's your husband. Yeah, you're supposed to trust him, and you're supposed to, but you also supposed to be smart about the situation. You're not gonna have nothing that's not in both of our names. Like we're not gonna do that.
So I had this friend that I used to talk to, and her husband went through a divorce, right? But right at the blink of the divorce situation was she went to go sell the house, like she couldn't because she owed taxes. And he was the one that was doing their taxes. So she had owed taxes she didn't know anything about, like all this other stuff, because she trusted that he was doing the role that
So where the money at?
And here's my whole thing. For me, if I know that we have something coming in, I need to see it, because I'm asking, did they drop that money yet? Regardless if we're taking it and putting it in an account, we're not spending it. I want to know that the money was received. You know what I'm saying? So that's just me. I'm not blindly trusting anybody with any kind of funds. I want to know what the money is. Like, and not just the money. Like, did the business get taken care of? Like, okay, did we go and take care of? Did this happen? Whether it was good, bad, or otherwise, I want to know what the situation is. But the fact that she was about to go through a divorce and they were trying to sell their house and they couldn't because you owe all these taxes, and now I got to deal with that part of it, and now you ain't even gonna be here to deal with it with me, because now when you separate, that's a whole issue for me.
But that's being checked in to what's going on. I mean, okay, it's your responsibility to pay this, but you can log into the computer and make sure it's paid.
Well,
you can log into the computer and just check at the end of the year and make sure your taxes.
Okay, so how do you guys feel about receiving an allowance? Because I know people
let me find out.
But I'm saying, like, I know people that their person take care of everything and they give them money to be able to.
I don't ever want to be a kept woman. I need my own. Mm-hmm. I need to be able to negotiate, navigate, spend what I want, hide what I want. Okay? I never want to be a kept woman. And I know that sounds good, like you just said, oh, I wish somebody would do that for me, but you really don't want that. Mm-hmm. I don't want that. I would never want that, because I'm too independent to be kept. Because now I got to account for you. I got to ask you, hey, can I get my nails done today? Hey, can I go on the shopping spree today? Mm-hmm. Hey, I think I want to, I don't want to move out of my parents' house, going to a marriage, and have a new damn parent to answer to. I want to make my own money, and I want to, sure, you have to talk to your spouse and say, hey, baby, I was thinking about doing this or that. Sometimes, because all the time I won't. Mm-hmm. Sometimes, I play boss and do my own thing, and then I just apologize later. But at the end of the day, I want to have that. I want to have the what's the name to be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? The freedom to be able to do that. I don't want to have to come and ask you for nothing. That feels like, a dictatorship to me.
Right. And my thing is, you can always tell me no, and I don't like that.
Yeah. Oh no? Who knows? Who the hell is
that? I don't want to hear no. I just want to go on and do it, and then, like you said, just apologize for it. Because once it's done, it's done. It ain't no take backs on it.
It all depends on the person's personality. Like, I think this group, we're all independent in that way. Like, you getting what you get. We all work. You get doing what you want to do with your money. Like, you don't have to ask anybody for something. And I just think it depends on the personality.
All marriages are different.
Because I will say this, like when I was married, I think that I was better at finances than him, because like he would lose his debit card all the time, and I'm like, well, hey, hold on, this is not gonna work like this. Yeah. Like and the thing about it was, like, I had these ideas, like, before I got married. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get a husband and he's just gonna take care of everything, or he gonna do this and that or whatever. But what I realized was he was better at some things, and then I was better at other things. So it, we kind of just got into a balanced situation. But at the same time, I know for me, I really don't want to take care of the finances. I really don't want to. I want to know about the finances, but I don't want to take care of them. I don't really want to have to pay the bills. I just don't.
And in some situations, some people are horrible at money management.
Yeah,
right?
sure.
So the other person takes on that role.
And
Right.
that's
Even
my
though
life.
I'm horrible at money management, I still want to know how my
Right.
money is being
Right.
managed. Yes, why would I know? I know I'm saying if it was me.
Oh,
no,
no, I was
even
gonna say,
if
I was
I'm,
gonna
yeah,
say-
no, I'm not horrible at money
I was
management.
gonna say,
No.
I didn't think you was.
No,
I
but-
am though. I
Yeah.
am horrible at money managing, and my husband is not. And I have had to learn to trust him enough to let him deal with that portion. Because if it's up to me, baby, just throw it in the bag. I want a new bag every week. I want a new pair of shoes every week, and we're gonna figure out this mortgage one day, okay? And that is me. I've grown. I've grown, of course, and I've learned to pay my bills first, of course. But that took a lot of trial and error. That took a lot of arguments. That took a lot of who the fuck is you talking to? Because I work every day and I can buy what I want. That took a lot of that, and it helped me. But we talking about a toxic situation. I think that's just a part of everyday marriage. That's just a part of learning how to cope with one another and financially, be in tune. But let's talk about the toxic side of it. I have a friend that has a situation similar to this, and she was comfortable because he has taken care of her for years, and there is no reason for her to even think that, oh, well, I have anything to worry about. No, she don't think there's nothing to worry about until the shit hits the fan. And now it's like, okay, so what do I do now? Where do I start now? And we're talking about a well-educated woman who has a career and everything else, but just is not used to handling everything because she has been able to hand that over to somebody that she trusts.
But that's that blind trust
Right.
that you give your person, whether it be your husband or your wife, and what you should be able to do in a marriage. But now that person don't want you no more,
Right.
and now
Because it's all good
it
until the
turns,
next.
yeah, and now it's like the person that you trusted so blindly
Yeah.
don't care.
But that's how
You
we
know?
end. But that's
Ooh,
how.
and that's
But
how
that's
you
how
end
we
up
end up
fucked
on.
up.
Yeah, you end up fucked up. You end up on the short end of the stick, and you end up broke.
Right.
Especially because, like you said, when you go into it, you don't go into it thinking, oh, this person would never do this to me.
Right.
And I'm like,
Well,
as they
that's the
say,
problem right there.
soon as the motherfuckers say somebody would never, they start never like never before.
Like
Right.
that's why even if it's being taken care of, tune into what's going on.
Yeah.
Like check into what's
Because it's not,
happening.
to me, it's not even cute to say, okay, I'm a kept woman. That's just my opinion.
Right.
Even though I do jokingly say that sometimes, but I know my mouth too slick for that, so everybody. Yeah, and you ain't finna put your hands on
You
me.
know, and it goes both ways because I've known a male in a situation where he was with a woman and took care of everything. Would hand the money over to her to pay this, pay that, and I'm giving you this,
Right.
and I'm trusting you to take care of it. And I'm in the shower and the water and the lights go out, but I done gave you money to pay these bills and you weren't doing it. So
That's how
it
people are
goes
able
both
to hide
ways.
things from you, like gambling problems. You have a whole
Right.
other family across town,
Yeah.
like on way to sell when he had a whole nother apartment complex
Yeah.
and
Right.
all this other stuff because she just let him do all these things, even though she supported him and
Right.
did all that.
It's just always gonna go back to where is the money?
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong if that's the role you
Because I'm asking, I want to
check
know.
in on what's
Yeah,
happening.
check
Because let me tell you something. It's a bunch of things that I can't do. Like, I'm not a great speller, right? I'm horrible at it.
But
It's
she
because-
has me.
But let me tell you something. You can't get over on me on some numbers. Because in my head, real quick, even if I can't get the exact number together, I can get a range. I do know that you went to work at 5 this morning and you didn't get home until 10 and you told me you got off at 9. And you did that for 5 times this week. I know there's some overtime on that situation. Don't tell me, but they took so much money out of my check. Well, it's still more than what you would have brought home last week. So where's the extra $300?
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah,
don't trust nobody that much. For me,
And why are people okay with not having
You say
access
what?
to finance?
I don't trust
Yeah.
nobody that much.
You don't trust them not that much
I don't
anyway.
care.
I don't trust
Period.
myself.
Period.
Do you pay the bills, or when you had a significant other, did they pay most of everything? Like, how did y'all?
It was the significant other would pay the rent or whatever, and I would pay the other bills. But I mean, now I just don't trust nobody that much to do.
I was gonna say,
anything.
did you ever? Is there a situation where you go behind that significant other and say,
Oh no!
just make sure?
See, that significant other was good with money, so I ain't never have to cheat, but good with money.
Uh-huh.
So I ain't just like,
Cheat. But good with money.
Yeah.
We don't like them kind. Cheapies, go ahead.
Yeah. But I now who I am today, I don't trust nobody that much. Not with my coins.
So then now that moves me to, as a single woman, when you move into the realm of not being a single woman anymore, how does that work out?
I personally want to handle the finances. You can have your own account with whatever little money you got.
And that is how walls are built. That's just, you know what I'm saying? Because, and we all have them. And that's what, with that, we all have walls and we all have things that have happened to us in the past. And we build a wall. Yeah. And 9 times out of 10, nobody can bring that wall down.
Because it makes you move. Yeah, it makes you move a certain
way. The women that don't have their walls built up, you done been with this man for 20 years, and now that he don't want you no more, you out on the street looking like...
I disagree, because I feel like it takes a special person to be able to change that for you. Because everybody is not the same. Everybody is not out to get you.
But how long?
You don't know that because it's the person. It's a feeling.
But how long is a person going to deal with you and that wall?
But I don't know, because if he's a person, for me, he's going to deal with that. But if he's not, he's not.
I don't think you're going to completely get rid of it. You're still going to have.
You probably will, but I do think that
you're still going to. I got to.
Like, I'm going to give you this example. Case in point. Tam said that she would never want to get married again, right? And now that's changed. She said that she does want love and all those things. Something happened in her life at some point, whatever that was, to make her feel different about that. It's just something that's going to happen over time. It doesn't necessarily mean that it would ever change for her, but it doesn't mean that it could never change for her.
True.
It's one of those things. I don't think it's black and white where it's this or that. It could be a gray area. It's just a person. If that person is right for you and that's what y'all going to do together, then y'all can come together. Like you said, you and Antoine been together a long time. Y'all been through a whole lot of stuff. It took you a while to get to a point where you're like, okay, well, I gotta relax.
A long while.
It did, but guess what? You're there now, so it's not something that did never happen. It
you're
just
right,
took some time.
but you're right, because I feel like that if I feel messed over in any kind of way, that could definitely change and make me feel like, oh no, I need to go back to this because I need to be able to guard and protect.
Exactly. But you're not in that stage because your guards are relaxed because you know what the situation is. It's just about, am I ready, and is this person that person to help me be ready with that? Because some people are not on the same page. You may have somebody that can come to the relationship and they're already got their stuff together. They credit, they this, they that, da 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 da. It can make you feel like, okay, I want to do those things. They can make you feel in a way where, okay, let me help you do that and feel safe. And then other people don't make you feel safe. They make you feel less than because you don't have that. Right. So then that makes a wall stands up. So it depends on who the person is. Just like with Jill Scott on what's the movie when she was fat and old boy didn't want her, but then she got another husband. He walked with her. He did this. It changed.
Money issues.
But they did. But I'm saying that it still changes depending on who the person is and what they're doing for you.
I can agree.
So I mean, I'm not gonna be closed out on it because I want somebody that's going to make me a better version of myself, and I want you to make me feel comfortable and safe with you, because if I don't feel that way, why am I with you and why am I doing it?
But in the end, I feel like it's
that's
all this thing.
You should.
All of it is a risk.
Yes.
Are you willing to take this risk?
Yes.
Because anytime you dealing with somebody new or what have, it's a fucking risk. I'm like, it might work out, it might not. I mean, it's choices. It's risk and choices. Right. Either you're gonna choose to open up and do whatever, or you're not going to take this risk. I mean, that's what it really is to me.
But you should always plan accordingly. Even if you have a man that's taking care of you or a woman that's taking care of you and you don't have to go to work, have an account, put your stuff to the side.
It's such thing as being smart
about your situation.
I think you should be smart.
Not know what's going on with the finances, with the money. I don't care what role you play.
So let me turn this around. We're, let's say, the people, as a woman, should I say, normally women handle finances. Like you said, the tables can turn. In a situation as it pertains to men, what advice would you give a man that feels like, I go to work, I bring the bacon home to mama and she fried up, meaning she divide the pie, pay the bills and do whatever. What would you tell a man in that position?
I'm going to tell him the same thing. I always have an issue with, as long as the train is moving, we all good. And as soon as the train stops, then you want to start pointing fingers. Don't point fingers when the train stops because you allowed that situation to happen. If you take your ass into the situation and give somebody all your money and you don't ever check and figure out what's going on and then some shit fuck up, then you have a responsibility in that because you gave that situation to them. You gave the power to them. You have to do the same thing. Just because you're going to work don't mean you should be checked out of your household of what's happening.
Yeah, right. And if you're allowing that person to do everything, still check. Like you once a month, check see if you still got money in your account. If it's all been moved somewhere else.
Baby is moving twig by twig.
It's just like a man or a woman thing. It go both ways.
Yeah.
So how do you guys feel about? Because I've not had this happen to me. Sharing accounts.
Ooh, I've never shared it.
I have not either. So I can't. I haven't. I wanted to do that because I thought it was going to be a good thing. They did not want to do that because I was thinking that if my 100% is 50 and their 100% was 30, but we put the 80 together, then that's what we have together, right? Mm-hmm. But if you still want to keep 27 of it, of the 30, and only give me $3, that ain't gonna really work out. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying because people do that because they're trying to hold on for whatever the reason is. So I want to know how is that.
That was actually a big thing in my relationship for a while. I grew up with a single mother who had trust issues as it pertains to somebody being able to financially secure her, with having a dad that was on drugs and taken from the house. My mama did shit like pinned her money to her bra when she slept. You know, she had real financial trust issues, and it made me feel that way. And it made me feel like I don't trust anybody to look out for me. And so I want to make sure that I have my own. You know, I come from a lot of strong women. And that's what I did for many, many years. I had my own, he had his own. And he was the one that was pushing over and over and over for it. Part of the reason why I wouldn't do it is because he is the account police to this day. Like I said before, and I don't like people in my business. If I want to go and buy myself a dress, I don't want you questioning, oh, you bought a dress today, huh? Listen, sir, get the fuck out of my business. Right. Okay, that's part of the reason. Another part of the reason is I just felt more secure knowing that my money was over here, and if anything happened, I knew what I had. And so it took me, girl, we were married for we were definitely married over 10 years before I joined accounts. Him and I just joined accounts with one another probably about a good 7-8 years ago, maybe.
Okay, so how's that working?
It's working. I mean, it's working. It's working. It's working.
Do you guys have an account together and still have separate accounts, or do y'all just have one account?
So we have multiple accounts,
but y'all have all.
But all of them we're on all of them, unless he got one that I don't know about.
Oh, okay, sis. Okay, that's a big deal for her. Cause I'm surprised. Okay,
yeah. Let me tell y'all, and this is why I do not have a joint checking account with somebody. We have joint savings, but I worked in banking. And the things that I saw people do to each other, and at the end of the day, whoever's name on the account is their money. It's 2 people on the account. If you got $100,000 in there, I can go take it. There's nothing you can do about it. Because we're on it together and it's equally ours. Yeah. And we got all this stuff together. We're putting it together. And I feel like even if you have one together, I would still have one on the side. With just, maybe I want to put 30% of my check over here, put the other 70 over here, however you want to do it.
What the old folks call it, bad money.
You know, and I was in tears with these people because you come here and everything you have is gone. And it ain't nothing you can do about it because that's y'all account. That's right. But I'm just saying, you should have. I believe in joint accounts, but I also believe in having your own.
I believe that your house is going to be on fire with you in it if you take everything I got.
I'm telling you, I've seen
it
for myself.
Friend, bail me out. Put some on.
We're going to sell some things.
Yeah, I know we can sell.
It takes 20 seconds for me to go in and open a new account. Just in my name and transfer all our money over there to my account,
and now you don't have no access to it.
So because of that experience, that made you not want to ever have.
And that have nothing to do with a partner I've been with. It's just because I know what can happen. I've seen it happen.
That's what I'm asking.
So I would always have something on the side for myself.
So because Tisha's experience in relating to banking and she's seen these different examples with people makes her feel that she should have money on the side. Keitha's experience of years and years and years of fighting with we're not going to, she's relinquished, and now she's, I ain't say that right.
Relinquished.
Thank y'all. I had to go back to it because somebody out here gonna let me out. But now that they have all of their things together, and now we have Tam, who is no longer in a marriage, but she did have a shared account, and I'm interested to know how did that go.
It was just for a short period of time because he kept losing that debit card.
That was it.
Yeah.
That was it.
That was
And
it.
from what I gather is because Tam's partner was irresponsible with the card, she fell away and put a wall up that she couldn't trust him with the money because anybody can just take the money at any time because he don't know what a card is at, right? That's what.
That's what.
Okay, so that's what we got. Well, here's what this is the takeaway. The takeaway is this: be smart about what's happening in your household. Make sure that you're in the loop in some kind of way with your finances, with your partner, with the paperwork, with whatever's happening, so that you're not out of the loop, so you don't get taken for all you got, even the kitchen sink that ain't even in your name. So
you've been living here for 15 years,
and then you
in your name, so you got to go.
And then you got to go. And baby, let me tell you, even the dog got somewhere to go right now. We don't want them problems for you. So thank you guys for visiting and stopping by and hanging out with us and singing our song that I sing every day. Anyways, girl, we'll see you girls and guys next week. Bye.
I call my friends,
And they call their friends. Now you're on the line getting tea from so-called friends.